Under the hood footage, under the hood footage, under the hood footage. Look at it, with the suede top, under the hood. I appreciate everybody for joining another episode of Not the Majority. And on today's episode, we'll be discussing what is under the hood of my 1990 Lincoln Town Car. First, let me show love to somebody that put in the comment section, what exactly is my current setup to ride on 30s or big wheels? And in that video, that's what I will be discussing today to let you know. But let me set two disclaimers. First, I want to be very clear on. Disclaimer number one, this is not a show car. Let me repeat, this is not a show car. This is a street car. So what I mean by that is, I don't think you are, but let me be clear. If you're expecting to look under here and it's 100,000, 200,000, 300, it is not that at all. This is meant to be a street car, meaning if I want to get in my car and drive, I live in South Carolina, so if I want to drive to Florida 8-9 hours without no tractor, no trailer, drive to Florida at the Classic, turn the AC on, ice cold, drive back, no issues, that's what this is. If I want to drive to Atlanta, AC blasting, no tractor, no trailer, come back, that's what this is. If I'm gonna drive to Myrtle Beach, same thing. No tractor, no trailer, AC cold, in traffic, back, that's what this is. Disclaimer number two, this setup is not meant to be, meet me at the red light, let's get it and go. Again, this is a street car, meant to be outside, enjoying outside. This is not meant to be at the track. This is not, let's put up the pink slips and let's get it and go. I want to be very clear on that. I don't think you are, but if you are, that's not what this is. This is meant to be what works for me, that's dependable, to ride on 26s, 28s, and 30s, and I've had no issues. I've had 30s for probably, these for 5 years, and before that I had 28s, and before that I had 26s on here. So I've had big rims on this car for a while, no issues. So I'm gonna discuss what my current situation is, and hopefully it helps some of y'all that are currently looking to putting big wheels on your car. So let's get it. Now the first thing that I would do is I would put gears in the rear end. So if you look at that little hump right there, you see a little hump sticking out. In case you don't know, that's called a rear end. So what that means is, I have 14 gears in that. So what that means currently is, so if you at, say at a light, and you're trying to get in and go, it gives that power down low. The 410s give you power down low. If you're on the interstate, want more power, that's a different type of gear. But 410s is what I want. I want a down low power. Most time, like I said, I do go out of town. Most time I'm around the city. So I'm around the city, I want that down low power through the city. So I'm on 410 gears. Next thing I would do is I would beef up the transmission. So I had my transmission rebuilt a while back ago, but I also got a stall put in there. So get your transmission rebuilt, put a stall in there, you should be good to go. So I would get gears in the rear end for the big wheels, and I would beef up the transmission, put a stall in there. Next thing I would do, it's not necessarily a big wheel thing, but it's if you have a old school and want to ride like a new school, I would get a Holley system or some type of EFI system. So if you see this air cleaner, that's not that's not normally on a Lincoln Town Car in 1990. If you open up a hood of another 1990 Lincoln Town Car, it's gonna have an entirely different setup. And why that is because when they change out my EFI system, they had to change the intake and everything above that. So when they changed that out, they had to put this air cleaner on there because I don't have like a necessarily like throttle body that comes off the side that would come like right here. I have the throttle body is basically with the air cleaner. So what I mean by that, if you look at that air cleaner, I have, if I can show you right here. See this that little thing coming off the window right there, that little screen? That's what the Holley EFI system reads. So what that system reads is, it basically reads your battery, basically reads your oil pressure, basically reads your air, gas. You can idle how you want to idle it. So long story short, it makes your 1990 or 1970, whatever classic car you're building, ride like a 2023. That's the thing I would recommend most of anything, especially for not rims, is get that EFI system. So I have Holley Sniper, but they have Holley Terminator X. So I would look into that Holley direction if you want to do that. So if you go further down, let's see, let me arrow this down. Next you'll see I have Ford Racing valve covers. So I have the matching air cleaner, full racing valve cover on that side. Now go to the side. Let's see. Got full racing valve cover on that side. Matching valve covers. So another thing, if you're building, and I'm speaking from a Lincoln perspective, if you're building a Lincoln Town Car, the heads up 5.0, let me back up. Lincolns do come standard with 5.0 motors, but they are very restricted, in case you didn't know. Meaning it's not the same 5.0 on the Mustang. Meaning the manifolds won't be able to breathe that much, the heads won't be that good, and what is one more thing? Oh, the throttle body, like that's gonna be very restricted. So I decided to go with GT40 heads on mine. So GT40 heads are the same heads that come out of 1993 Cobra. That's the heads that are on these valve covers, or GT40 heads on here. That's what works for me. If you go further down, let me go a little further down. I have, as you can tell, headers on here. So instead of the manifolds, I have headers on my car. So I went with the BBK headers instead of the manifolds. And so it helps the car breathe. So my current exhaust system is BBK headers. They go back to an H-pipe. That H-pipe goes back to Flowmaster 40 series, and that goes out dual exhaust. That's my exhaust system. So BBK headers to an H-pipe to 40 series Flowmasters, and that's my current setup for my exhaust. And also, you don't have to do this, but I do have a camshaft in this motor too. There's a camshaft in here. So that's pretty much my setup. One thing I would suggest for me, like I said, this car is meant to be outside. It's an outside, everyday driven car, right? So I would suggest changing out your radiator and changing out your clutch fan. I do it every other summer. Some people might say it's overkill, but that's what I do because I don't want no problems. It's not that much. People say, well, why don't you go to electric fan? To me, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and it works for me. So I just give me a new radiator, new clutch fan every other summer. And one other note, if you have a Lincoln Town Car, and you probably know this, and if you're looking at getting on this direction, it's hard to get parts for a Lincoln. It's not like a Chevrolet. If you have a box Chevy or a dump, you can go to Be Cool Radiator. You get you this 2-core, 3-core radiator, have no problems. They don't even care for a Lincoln. So when you get a Lincoln, if you want to go a bigger radiator, you have to get creative, like get a radiator from somewhere else to put in there because they're not going to sell it. So I have the radiator. That's the air compressor, which, I mean, everybody should know that, but that keeps the AC, keep everything cold in the car. So this is pretty much my setup. So just like a quick overview for me, like I said, if you want to build a big run, first thing I would do is I would put gears in the rear end. Number one, I would beef up my transmission, put a stall in it, and other stuff, like I said, just I have heads on here, camshaft, BBK, just kind of your standard 302 build. But if I had anything to recommend, I would recommend getting that Holley, whether it's Sniper or Terminator X system. That's what I would definitely recommend. But I appreciate everybody tuning in to What's Under My Hood. So if you have any other questions, anything, leave it in the comments. I'll try my best to answer your questions, and we will catch you on the next one.